Okay, and I think we are live.
Are we?
Let's see.
There it
Waiting
is.
for it to pop up. Okay,
Pop
you
up
got
for
it?
me, yeah.
And yeah, there
Yeah.
we are. There we are. All right, so we are live for Avengers Endgame review. Of course, our special guest
It's Philly.500.
is Philly.500. What up, Philly?
What's up, Dingbat?
Yo, everybody, how you doing? Josh, Sean, what's going on? And Sean, Josh, I should say, Josh. You see what I got for you?
Why you
right?
why you gotta bring that into this? Why do you gotta bring
Because-
the Trubisky into this?
It's because of what you said to me that one night.
What?
I'm all out of whiskey because I lost my Trubisky. I know Philly was right to say that the Bears still sting, but Bear Dog's got the ugliest toes on YouTube. Thank you very much.
Dude, that's.
I wish
cool,
he was
man.
in Infinity War and he got snapped away.
He got snapped away
with the guy and
Well,
left,
you
and
know,
left
I
my
would
fucking
snap
jersey.
that.
He would be part of fucking Thanos' crew. So
All right,
Damn
so
right.
guys, thank you so much for being in here. I see a lot of you guys in here on the chat already. Now, this is our Endgame review for
Yes.
Avengers. Now, this is going to be spoilers.
Yes.
This is a spoiler review.
if you have not watched it, get out.
I know a lot of you guys wanted to talk about it so
Yeah.
bad in the past week in the chat. We had to fucking get ready. A lot of people in our live chat. Well, now here's the opportunity to talk spoilers. So if
Yes.
you don't want any spoilers of this, get out right now.
Oh, we got $2
That's
donation
right.
from Hellord247 at work. Love you guys. Have a good stream. Thank you, Hellord. Appreciate that, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thank you, hell Lord. All right, Philly.500, Avengers Endgame, Sean, Philly. First question I want to ask you guys: did you like it more than Infinity War?
I'll say no. I'll go ahead and say no.
I agree.
I like Infinity War more.
I agree.
I at this point, I've seen Infinity War 100 times. I need to see this one more because so much happened that I know I missed.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna put it on par with Infinity
par?
War. I'm gonna say
Okay.
right now, I think that's one consistent story. I have it on par.
All right. See, me, I think Infinity War, I put it at like at a 10. I'd put
Yeah.
Endgame at like about an 8, maybe a 9.
It's right there.
Right.
It's
I love it. I love the
What
movie.
is-
It's
yeah.
great.
What is the deciding factor?
All right, so let's get right into it.
That's what I wanna know.
We'll get right into it. In Avengers Endgame, in the very first act, something huge happens that completely caught me off guard. It caught you off guard, Sean, as
Yeah.
well. Thanos gets killed in the first act.
I was like, what? And he put up no
That
fights.
blew my
fights.
mind because all I could think was, oh my God, everything I thought I knew what was going to happen is out the window now. I have no idea. I actually thought that was so refreshing because it was like, I don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
They just killed Thanos.
Right.
You know, I didn't think about,
now.
you know.
In the preview, right, going into this movie, we all agreed that there was going to be this early fight, this
Yeah.
initial fight in the very, very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we thought maybe, some of the Avengers were going to die in that, right?
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't really much of a fight.
He
got
had
ambushed
nothing. He had
by the
nothing.
Avengers. It was Thor, Captain Marvel, right?
Yeah, even Hulk. Well, in the Hulkbuster, Banner and a Hulkbuster.
Yeah.
And Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel was there.
Yeah.
And they fucking killed him.
They murdered
Thor aimed for the head.
Yeah.
And chopped that dude's head off.
I like how he said that. Like, they were like all puzzled that he did that, and then he was like, I went for the head.
They're like, what are you
I
gonna
was
do?
like, damn.
Yeah, because they were like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You just killed the guy who, who could possibly, try to bring this all back together. I don't
Yep.
know.
Yeah.
Get some more answers. But
Yeah.
he's gone. He's dead.
Yep.
And Thanos was like, he wasn't at full strength. He was already really injured and hurt
Right.
because he had used the Infinity Stones to destroy
That's
itself,
why it was so easy.
so that nobody could come reverse it.
Yeah, that's why he had.
So
he
he
put
was.
up no
That's
fight.
why he was so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when Thor did that, it was like you didn't see that coming.
Not that
That
fast.
shocked me.
Mm-mm.
No, it shocked me. It did.
We got a $2 donation real quick from Yankees fan. He says, King Dingbat, best Marvel movie ever.
And another $2 donation
shit.
from Beastmo123 says, Sean, you look different. Did you get a haircut?
I did get a haircut, but I also shaved completely because Hunter donated $50 and he wanted me to shave, so I had to do it.
So Thanos dying in the first act completely took me off guard, and
Yeah.
I was just like you. What you were saying, I was very intrigued. Like, where are they gonna go with this, right?
Yeah.
And this is why the movie isn't as good for me in Endgame than it was in Infinity War, because we don't see Thanos
Yeah.
for the rest of the movie. We see past Thanos because Thanos is dead, right? So now they got to go to the past, and the Thanos that's in the rest of the movie in the final battle is past Thanos.
Yeah.
And for me, that kind of dilutes the villain a little bit because that's not the Thanos who had.
That's not the Thanos that beat them before.
Exactly, who had the master plan. That's one
Yeah.
of the greatest villains of all time.
Yeah.
Right? So I kind of felt like that whole last thing in the battle and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I wasn't as invested in that than I would have been if it was Thanos, like the main.
Their Thanos.
Exactly right.
Yeah,
And I was kind of a little pissed off, a little bit. There's a little bit of me that was pissed off in that final battle. I don't know about you guys.
Why?
Because it's bullshit that fucking Thanos is able to go toe to toe with the Avengers, especially Cap,
That's true.
Thor, and Iron Man.
Well,
It's not good
I
continuation.
I do have a problem with a certain part of that in battle. Okay, when Thanos is headbutting Captain Marvel and hitting her with everything, and it's like not even hurting her at all.
Yeah.
Until he takes the Power Stone out and then punches her. It took that for him to even do any damage. We're talking about Thanos here.
Well, see,
I'm
hold
sorry,
on.
she's too
Well, see,
powerful.
fuck Captain Marvel. when Captain America and Iron Man and Thor approach him and they start fighting, and Thor he's got the hammer and he's got Stormbreaker, and Thanos is fighting with him. He's going toe to toe. He breaks Captain America's shield.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Bullshit. In Infinity War, I mean, with the stones, they were able to give him a little bit of a fight. Remember on that planet with Doctor Strange, Iron Man? Iron Man was able to drop blood. Thanos without the stones, how the hell is he going toe-to-toe with these guys? They should have kicked his ass. Thor alone should have kicked his ass.
That's actually very true.
Yeah.
So I didn't buy that. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Thanos with the stones, they can give him a little bit of fight. Thanos without the stones, he's taking on the Avengers.
And the Stormbreaker is supposed to be there to be able to kill Thanos. Like, how is he able to withstand that kind of that itself, that weapon itself?
That's very true.
I know I'm sounding like really hyped, but it wasn't like a great big deal. But I was like, nah, I'm not buying this when I was watching the theater.
Yeah.
But it didn't ruin anything for me. But
And-
that's just a little gripe I have.
And how he can
See,
yeah.
No, I liked that the young Thanos, who is a few years younger and more,
just a few years.
a few years younger, but on his start to get the stones, he was looking for the stones, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to see himself die, and then be like, now that's destiny. Like, he was okay with the way he died.
Yeah.
And he was going to snap, and he was excited about it. And then he realized that, you know what? It's not going to work, because no matter what I do, half of the people are never going to get over this. I got to destroy everybody.
Right.
So he was taking it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So I was intrigued by that. That was very interesting to me.
Yeah. It's just there's certain parts like Josh was saying, like those three going up against them. Even the Scarlet Witch, she was able to hold her own a little bit. Remember in the first Infinity War when he was coming at her with the stones, he had to use all the stones pretty much, except for visions, to be able to try to get to her. And she's supposed to be one of the most powerful too in Marvel Universe, and supposed to be able to go toe to toe with Thanos. And yet he was throwing her around without any stones too. Remember?
Yeah.
Like, he beat her. Like, there's parts in that just didn't
The continuity
make
between
sense.
between the Thanos of Infinity War and Endgame didn't match up for me.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Captain Marvel,
Yeah.
how awesome was it that she wasn't in this movie for a majority of it?
Yeah. Like, for
Thank God.
she was only
Thank
there at
God.
the beginning and the end, pretty much.
Thank God, because the beginning of it, I was like, oh no, here we go. You know, she finds Tony Stark out in the middle of space. Like, I want to know how she found him. Like, did Raccoon have a tracker on his ship? Like, what was it that made her find him?
I'll tell you what it is. It's this very special thing in movies that they do. It's called plot armor. Okay? Certain characters have this plot armor.
Yeah.
And Iron Man's one of them. Mm-hmm. Why she finds him? Because
well, I think there's something to it, right? Because remember they had that scene. What scene? I can't remember what movie it was from, where they're playing with the Nick Fury's little beeper, right? Mm-hmm. And then it stopped, and then all of a sudden she appeared, asking for Nick Fury.
Yeah.
So where's that time frame between her finding? It's not like she was on her way to Earth and found Tony before she met the other Avengers.
Right.
She met them first. So something had to happen between then and her finding Tony Stark.
That's a good point, because I'm watching the movie, and you know what? I got distracted a little bit because I'm sitting in the seat, and I'm thinking, this whole Captain Marvel thing doesn't make any fucking sense.
There's got to be some deleted scenes.
There has to be a missing scenes, because she shows up. She saves Tony Stark, right? This is the first time we're seeing her with the Avengers. She brings the entire ship to the Avengers headquarters.
And it sounds like they already know her.
And no one makes a big deal about this. Who's this chick?
Wait, so they've already met her.
I felt like I'm like, wait, am I missing some scenes here?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on the outside. You guys have this like there was like this other thing going on where they already met and they talked over. They're like, okay, who are you? You're Captain Marvel. Okay, what are your allegiances? What's your goals? Like, who are you? Where are you from?
Yeah.
So there's got to be some deleted scenes in there.
So that was just very weird to me.
I would have liked it if they had like shown her, and then she was talking Raccoon, saying like, my ship is floating in space. What's it doing over here? And she's like, I'll go check it out, or something. And that's how they find Tony. It would have made sense.
Yeah.
For her just to show up and find him,
Yeah, that's why I want to buy the director's cut, where all of the deleted scenes, all that stuff, when it comes out. I mean, I want to see the pieces together.
I know. As soon as she drops off that ship, everyone's just talking, and Iron Man, and he's very sick, and he's very frustrated, of course.
Yeah.
And then the whole time, I'm thinking, okay, this chick can fly. She just came from space. Yeah. Why is no one making a big deal about this?
We know that they met before that. I just want to know what happened between.
I felt like, okay, movie, are you in the same boat as I am, where we just don't give a shit about Captain Marvel? Because I just don't.
Right.
I don't give a damn about Captain Marvel at all right now.
No.
And then
I was very concerned about her going into this movie, that she was going to have a bigger role
in it.
See, I think that Marvel knew that, and even though they're introducing a new character, because she's going to be more involved in Phase 4 probably, that I think they handled her right in this movie. She was only there in the very beginning. She was probably the only one that was going to be able to save Tony. That logically made sense. And then she came back at the end. And that's it. And I like that.
I think that's like 50% true for me, because I think in the beginning of the movie her role made no sense. It made no sense. There are definitely missing scenes. It's not in the final cut. It made no sense. If she had just shown up at the end, right, and everyone's like, "Who is this chick?" or something like that, she appears at the end, I would have been fine with that. And then we're teasing this new character going forward, who's obviously going to play a major role in Phase 4.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I agree with that.
All right, so
you're swaying me now to Infinity War.
I got more.
Like
I got so much more.
Because I'm thinking like Infinity War is almost like that Empire Strikes Back. Like Empire Strikes Back is better than Return of the Jedi.
It's perfect.
I almost feel like it's like that.
It's a perfect movie. It's amazing. But not that Endgame is bad. Again, I love this movie.
No.
As a whole. But I do have some other gripes about it, but there's so many things that I love. Now let's go back to the time heist. Okay, so they kill Thanos in the very first act.
Yeah.
And the goal is we're going to go into the past and we're gonna get the Infinity Stones, and we're gonna bring them back to the present, and we're going to use that against Thanos. And we're going to undo the snap and bring everybody back. Now, what did you think about the time heist? That whole part of the movie?
Loved it.
Oh,
I loved it.
I know you would.
I loved every part of it. And I loved that they were like, went out of their way to say, look, these time rules do not apply like we normally think, like in Back to the Future and things like that. So they kind of had their own rules for the time travel. You know, it wouldn't affect the whole future. It may affect your future, but not the whole world's future. And I like the fact that they had to bring them back, but then they had to return them back to the time that they were taken.
Yeah.
I thought that was genius. I loved it.
See, I thought so too at first until I started actually thinking about it. And I'm thinking
Here we go.
it doesn't really make any sense. First off, I like the scenes. The scenes were fun. I like with them going back, Thor going back to Asgard and having that scene with his mom. I think that was really, really well done. Tony Stark.
The Hulk.
Yeah.
The Hulk's.
The Hulk
awesome.
scene, going back to New York and having that scene with the ancient one.
Yeah.
Right. That was awesome. Wait, hold up. The ancient one was there at New York, and they still were struggling. Man, she could have did so much more.
But her role was not to fight. Her role was just to protect the whatever.
Yeah.
She could have fucked that whole wormhole up if she wanted to. But anyway, then the scene where Captain America and Iron Man go back and Iron Man has all these scenes with his father, Howard Stark. That was
awesome.
Some of my favorite scenes in the movie.
That was fantastic. That was great.
Mine too. Yeah, that was mine too. I thought they were going to go further back. I really thought they were going to go back to like World War II to young, Howard.
Yeah.
That's where I thought they were going to go because, also like we talked about in Iron Man 2, how his father was like leaving messages for him. Mm-hmm. Like he knew he was going to be something. I was hoping he would find out that he was that was his son. But,
that would have been pretty crazy. I did like Captain America did the whole Hail Hydra. In the elevator. Mm-hmm. I was like, because everybody, they kind of teased everybody because that fight scene in Winter Soldier in that elevator was one of the best fight scenes, right? In Marvel fights.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, oh my god, are we about to see it again? And then all of a sudden he does Hail Hydra and gets out of there, and like there's no fight. It was like kind of like a little.
He has to fight himself though.
What's that?
Because his old self, he fights his old self.
Oh yeah.
Because his old self is like I found Loki.
Yeah.
Because he thought he was dressed like him. That was pretty good.
That was actually pretty interesting.
And then he wiped his memory with the stone when he touches him.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Is that what? Yeah.
He passed him out. He took him out and wiped his memory.
Oh,
and then Loki gets the stone in that time and just disappears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which wasn't really explained. Like, what in the world? Because in that timeline, in the original timeline, right? Well, I guess their timeline changes a little bit according to the how their time travel thing worked. But they were trying not to affect it, right? Mm-hmm. They were not trying not to make an impact on those timelines, but they kind of did right there. So I wish they had kind of depth in seeing how that would have maybe affected everything.
In the New York 2012 time heist part of it, I mean, guys, Loki takes the fucking stone, and dips.
Yeah,
he's back.
No,
he's back, baby. Loki's back.
Yeah, he is. Loki's definitely back.
Well, there's talks about when they did the snap that he is one of them that might came back either way in their timeline.
Yeah, so
and because there's already been confirmed there's a show of him.
Exactly right
for him.
He's back.
Plus.
I think he escaped. That was the big escape because he was killed before the snap, right? He was choked out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's interesting, but
that's what I'm also curious. Like when Hulk, because Hulk did the first snap, right, to reverse it.
Yeah.
Did he snap to say everybody on Earth, or did he say everybody that was killed by Thanos? Because
I think everybody that was killed in the original. I don't know.
Because
that's a good point.
Remember, he said he also tried to bring back Black Widow.
Black Widow.
Right? So she wasn't killed by the snap. So what was he trying? Was he saying everybody that was affected? Like, because that's the thing. Because he thinks about what he wants and does it. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm wondering if all the Asgardians came back too, and Loki and all those guys in their timeline.
Right.
So that's what's going to be interesting.
Good.
That is interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I see. That's why I need to watch it. There's so much that we're gonna pick up in the next time. I'll be watching this like 200 times by the time this thing comes out.
So, and then there was the time heist for the Soul Stone. Wow. With Hawkeye and Black Widow. That was crazy.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
I was expecting Hawkeye to sacrifice himself. Honestly,
I think so too.
I did too.
I was
I did
expecting
too.
him to win that battle.
Yeah, as soon as they went there, I was like, it's gonna be Hawkeye. It's got to be Hawkeye because of the things he did.
The things he did.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah,
And they were just
Yeah,
they're
and
battling
then they
it
fought.
out on the cliff.
Then they fought. I was wondering at some point if, because they both were willing to give of themselves, they were going to let them both go, like as a reward.
That creeped in my mind too. I was like, oh my god, what if like the time or the Soul Stone's like, you know what, y'all deserve this or some shit like that. But I was like, yeah, that's too easy.
So when they were fighting on the cliff and it definitely looked like Hawkeye was he jumped over. He's going over. He's gonna die. And then here comes fucking Black Widow and she gets him. And then that scene where she's just like, "Let me go." Yeah. Oh man, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
That was
tough. That was a tough scene, man. Yeah,
I was so sad. I was so fucking sad at that point. We got 99-cent donation from Samson Benjamin. Thank you, buddy. You didn't say anything, but thank you so much. Oh wait, you can't say anything for those lower ones. Yeah. Sorry.
Thank you, Samson.
Thank you, buddy.
Now here's the thing I have about the whole time heist thing. I have two gripes. Okay. Again, guys, I'm not trying to complain too much about this movie, but it was asked earlier why I don't like this as much as Infinity War. Yeah. Okay, so here's a thing that I didn't understand during the whole time heist thing. It was very well established in Infinity War and in previous movies that you had to be very special being or like a godly being almost to touch the stones. That goes out the window in Endgame. Now, anyone could touch the stones.
This is the thing, though. I'm wondering if it's only the Power Stone.
It's all the stones. It's all the stones because it wasn't that established. That was established in Guardians of the Galaxy.
I was wondering if it's a Power Stone.
But it was the actual stone, right?
Huh?
Like the actual stone. Like the Tesseract is in a square. You could hold the square,
but the stone
but you
itself.
couldn't touch the actual stone.
They were holding Hawkeye. Didn't he hold the Soul Stone?
Yeah.
I thought you can't hold any of the stones. They're too powerful. You had to be a celestial. You had to be something of like a very powerful being. What's his name? Star-Lord. He's half a fucking god.
Yeah.
So he was able to handle, and still he needed help with the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Maybe the Soul Stone was different. I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, because that's the Power Stone they were handling. The Power Stone automatically, right when you grab it, you're this a surge of power, right?
People say,
but everything else has different.
Everyone's saying, a couple people said, the Soul Stone is different, but it doesn't. They don't say that the stones are different. Yeah. It just says that the Infinity Stones.
No, they just say it's a special stone in the.
Yeah, it says the Infinity Stones can only be held or contained by a very powerful being.
Yeah.
So they don't make that distinction in the universe. And if so, someone please direct me to the specific scene in the specific movie.
Yeah. There's a little bit of plot holes, right? Now. I also want to bring up, because I saw actually Ghost Skittle talking about it. We got another $1.99 donation from Samson Benjamin. It says, "Sup, fellas? What's up, buddy?" Ghost Skittle makes a good point, though, about the Black Widow. Why didn't we get a funeral for her? Only Tony.
Yeah.
I thought when the movie ended, too, and I'm glad he brought that up, because I thought the same thing. I'm like, where's her fucking funeral? Like, she made a big part.
Yeah.
She was a part of her and Tony. Or a big part of forming the Avengers, right? She was the one that got him into with Nick Fury.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I was thinking the same thing. Doctor Strange wears one around his neck, bro. It says Kellen. Yeah, but he doesn't touch it. That's the point.
It's in some magical necklace.
But if anybody can find me something where it says different that anybody could touch the stones, like the pure stones, please let me know.
Yeah.
Here's another thing that I had a gripe about the time heist. Before they did the time heist. So Hulk says that there is no paradoxes when time traveling. Mm-hmm. If you go to the past, you do anything, it's not going to affect the future. The future stays the same, right? And then he has that conversation with the ancient one. Yeah. And she says you're going to create alternate realities. She didn't want to give him the stone. And and he explains to her, yes, we can prevent alternate realities from happening if we bring all the time stones back, all the Infinity Stones back to where they originally were.
Yeah,
I call bullshit on that. I call bullshit on all of that. Okay, first off, Of course there's going to be paradoxes. How is there not going to be paradoxes? Let's talk about Captain America. We mentioned he goes back in time to take the stones all back to where they originally were.
Yeah.
And then he stays in the past, and we see him as an old man back at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was he doing the entire time? Was he completely secluded in a goddamn safe room where he could not have any contact with anyone ever or do anything? Because
that's true.
You're going to create ripple effect. And they said there wasn't going to be no ripple effect. Isn't that what Hulk said? That no matter what you do, the present will stay the present. Everything's the same. Bullshit. If Captain America is driving on a car, right, and he is one more car on the road, he's going to create a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Somebody else gets delayed. That leads to this thing, that thing, and that thing over the course of 70 years.
Right.
Well, yeah, and that the thing is, remember, the girl he went back to and had his love life with and settled down with, she got married to someone else. She was part of
that doesn't
forming
happen.
the shield, right? Wasn't she part of forming the shield? So how is that all happening when he's settling down with her like that in that time?
Unless he didn't.
Right.
Unless he married some other woman.
No, he went back. They showed him dancing with her.
Maybe he danced with her, got involved with another woman, and that's why I won't talk about her.
Right.
Because you're right. Because she
sense.
did get married.
Yeah, she got married to someone else that formed the shield.
But whoever he married might have married somebody else, had different kids that now cannot exist. Yeah. So yeah, it has to create a ripple effect. It just does.
So I don't think that's right, because he did go in the past. He had that dance with
Peggy,
right?
Yeah, Peggy.
Unless you're creating alternate realities.
That has to
they're
be the
branching
case.
off.
That has to absolutely be the case. There's no way you're not creating alternate realities.
And they were trying to avoid that. So that's what is so confusing to me, why he literally stayed there and did that.
Well, and she needed the time stone for the Doctor Strange movie, right? When he used it at the end of Doctor Strange to keep having thing go back in time. I forget the beast and thing he had to deal with, but they needed that for that time too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Get a $2 donation from Spunky in 1991. Says Sports Fury and the King Ding Bet. What's up, Spunky?
Thank you, buddy.
Spunky 1991. What's up, buddy?
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the donation, bro.
Thank you. Why was Peter Parker in high school? It's been 5 years. Not for him. When you're snapped, he's brought back and still the same age.
And we're gonna see that play out in Homecoming.
Far From Home.
Far From Home. There you go.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
How about the fact that the entire I had a huge gripe with the whole you're not going to create paradoxes and you're not creating alternate realities. Absolutely, they had to have taken place, and I think we're going to see that maybe in the future.
Yeah, with him staying and doing what he did, then that had to cause ripple effects, and then also killing Thanos from that timeline. That has caused ripple effects because now his whole minions, they're no longer in existence. So what does that cause, right?
Right.
So Thanos is no longer in that timeline, and that because remember in that timeline that was before Guardians of the Galaxy happened, where they stopped Ronan from getting the Power Stone.
Right.
So what happens then? What happens with Ronan in that whole situation?
Exactly.
Ronan's still alive, I guess.
Well, yeah, in that timeline,
Ronan
at that
doesn't
point.
die.
And I kind of hope I hope you're right about that, because I kind of liked him as a villain.
Oh, Ronan? Yeah.
I like Ronan. Yeah. And Gamora is in the future, but she's really jumped out in time. So
she's out of place.
So Star-Lord, he has to kind of like win her over again. She has no connection to him at all.
Talk about that scene that you loved.
I love how it was the same exact moment when he tried to kiss her or whatnot in that first the other Guardians of the Galaxy. She actually need him this time. I loved that scene. I knew that was going to happen too. When they're having that moment, I'm like, oh, she's going to knee him right in the balls. And that was.
I did too. That was cool.
Justin says, you guys don't know anything. Oh my God. Well, what do you know, Justin? What do you know? I think we're asking pretty legitimate questions, and we're not saying we know anything. I think these are some legitimate plot holes. These are things that don't make any sense. So if you got something that we didn't, let us know.
And maybe they're things that they did on purpose going forward to create problems that the Avengers didn't expect to happen. Yeah. So Hulk said, "Oh, this is going to happen," and then in the future shows that no, you were wrong. This is actually happening now.
Right.
Anonymous is saying Cap went back to his own time. He's already been accounted for by the cosmic universe, so he isn't adding any one extra person. So he's taking his rightly. No, Anonymous. What you're not realizing is like
They said it's a one timeline.
it's one timeline, right? And
His own timeline. They said there was no alternate timeline.
you remember he was buried in ice for like how many years? I don't remember exactly. And so he didn't affect that time because he was in ice. Him going back, he affects that time because he was not present. He was frozen in time.
Yeah, this Captain America is from the future.
Yeah.
To that time.
He didn't go back and replace that guy.
And what about
that guy's still there?
And what about Shield? Wasn't Shield and all that stuff put in place after the inspiration they got from Captain America and his death and all that stuff? So does everything still happen the same way? Does Captain America in the past, does he not tell, hey, you got some Hydra people infiltrating you guys in the going in the future?
Because how is he not going to say anything?
Yeah. Does he have to keep quiet? I have so many questions.
I assume he has to go back and he has to just go into hiding and live his life quietly and mind his own business. I mean, that would be the only way he could do
Unless
it.
he gave no fucks. And he just said, fuck this. Fuck it. I'm creating an alternate universe. Like, but because
I don't know.
As the ancient one said, when you create all these alternate universes, the time zones are there to keep it balanced. And when you do that, it's just too much. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Justin says, no offense, my guys, but they are not ripples. But every time something changes in the past, it's not a ripple. It creates an alternate universe, or so universes is the same.
About.
That's exactly what we're talking about. Because
we're talking about it changes that timeline.
Yeah, because
that's what we mean. The ripple is not. We're not saying the ripple affects the current timeline.
It creates another reality,
another
another universe, like you're talking about.
Yeah.
Which is what the ancient one was worried about, but Professor Hulk said that wouldn't happen, but that clearly has to happen. And Justin, you agree with that with your statement. You said it's alternate universes.
That's what
exactly. We're on the same page.
I said they were going to create alternate universes.
I'm going to go on a limb and say that's going to come back and haunt them later, and that they were wrong or they didn't anticipate it, and she warned them and they didn't follow it, and it's going to be something the issue to deal with.
It might have something. It could lead to another villain, right? Because we saw the timeline alternate, right? And she says, if you do this, your timeline will be fine. But our new reality will go into this dark place. And you see the timeline being kind of dark and purplish, right?
Yeah.
And I saw some people in some other reviews and stuff like that saying that represents a new villain, maybe Galactus.
That's what I was thinking.
Galactus.
Because
well, see, and if that's the case, though, then the problems with the time lapse stuff is fine because it was done on purpose to create stories going forward. So I would have no problem with that at all.
Well, I think Galactus might come because of the fact that, first off, they bought the rights to him, right? Wasn't he part of the
Fantastic Four?
So I think I told Josh that I think that this them killing Thanos can create that. It's gonna. Because isn't Thanos he's a Titan, right? So he's like a species right below the Celestials. They created them, right? They're like the more powerful beings and stuff like that.
Something to that effect.
And so that could piss them off. Like these lower being humans killed a Titan of theirs, right?
Right.
So it might create him to want to go do something about it. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like the logic of why he want to come. So there's just different things.
So, now I want to talk about the real hero of everyone is recognizing the real hero of the entire Endgame, and that's the Rat that saved Scott Lang, who activated the time thing, the quantum realm thing, and he came back into reality.
I was like, what are you talking about, Rat?
And then he's the one who finds the Avengers and tells them about the entire quantum realm and time traveling. So kudos to the fucking Rat.
The Rat, man.
It's all about the Rat.
Hey, look, man, that thing was sitting there for 5 years. So something's going to walk across it eventually. That's how I looked at it. If it was like 6 months or 2 weeks, then but at least it took 5 years.
Yeah, the Rat from Ninja Turtles. Oh man.
Okay, here's another little tiny gripe I have. Okay, or a question. It's a question. I'll say it's a question. All right, so the Infinity Gauntlet that Tony Stark makes, right?
Yeah.
And that he uses the snap and dust Thanos and his minions or whatever. So it was very specified that the Infinity Gauntlet was a special made device that was made for holding all Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
What happened with that?
Well,
Because apparently Tony Stark can just create a glove in his lab that can hold all Infinity Stones. I felt like missing scenes. Talking about missing scenes, I felt like there's some missing scenes there because you gotta explain that. Because how are the Infinity Stones able to contain themselves in Tony Stark's Infinity Glove? Now we talked about in the preview that they're probably going to use something about that new element that he discovered, him and his father, and the arc reactor and shit like that, and they're going to use that to harness the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
But they didn't go over any of that. He just creates a new Infinity Glove in his lab, and it holds all the stones. I'm like, that's another question I have.
The deleted scenes, I bet you talk about that because that is interesting.
Yeah, because if you remember when they went that very first scene when they go and kill their Thanos, they found the glove, the Infinity Gauntlet or the Gauntlet, whatever, right? And there's no stones in it, so they could have taken it back with them, So you never know that they could have had it there, and for him to analyze it. And Tony's obviously one of the smartest men on the planet, so he was able to replicate it. So somehow,
yeah.
Let's talk about the battle, final battle.
Well, wait, you know what I want to talk about real quick?
Go ahead.
We got to talk about Thor. Thor.
oh yeah,
Thor.
the
Thor.
beer. Did you bring me beer?
Thor stole the show, in my opinion.
That was great.
He was awesome.
That was great. What they did with Thor was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
He was funny.
It was hilarious.
It was a great balance, though. He was funny, but at the same time, you saw how hurt he was. Like when Professor Hulk went up there to try to bring him back, and he mentions Thanos, and you saw immediately how hurt Thor was. Like, don't mention him again because he feels he failed. He failed everyone. His old world, Earth, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was having
amazing.
panic attacks. And then they go to see him. He's drinking beer and they're playing video games.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
And he's so fat. It's hilarious to me.
Yeah. And they kept him fat the whole movie.
Yeah.
That's what I like. It wasn't like he got lightning and all of a sudden he was back to Thor ready to fight.
Yeah.
He was fat the whole movie. That was genius, dude.
That was awesome.
When I first saw him, I was like, I said Sean and my girlfriend, I was like, he looks like Big Lebowski. And then like 3 seconds later, Iron Man calls him the Big Lebowski.
Yeah, and that was classic.
That was awesome, man.
That was
you're right, man. Thor was fucking great in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it, man. I loved it. And he got that little pep talk from his mom.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just awesome.
But to the final battle, so the Avengers, they get all the Infinity Stones from the time heist. They put it into the glove. Hulk puts it on because he's made of gamma rays and shit like that. So he is able to use it. He even says it's like I was meant to do this.
I was made for this.
I was made for this. Exactly right. So he makes the snap that brings back everybody from Thanos' snap that were killed.
Yeah.
And then right as he's laying on the ground, he's recovering, right? He sees Thanos' ship, and they're shooting fucking rockets and blows up all the fucking the Avengers facility.
Because Thanos from the past, they sent Nebula as a spy.
Yep.
Yeah.
To the old Nebula spy because they wouldn't know the difference. And then she opened the portal, and he comes through it, which was awesome.
How the Thanos and his army were able to find them. Now, another question: how was Thanos able to get his entire army to the future?
That's what I was
I don't know.
Confused about.
That I was trying to figure out too.
He had a little vial. How did he get him and his entire army and all those ships?
That was very confusing to me, and that
I didn't know.
Unless his army was still around.
Again, maybe there's missing scenes that explain that. Just a question I have.
There has to be something that didn't, because I was like, how the fuck did he get literally all of it?
That was like a 3-hour movie, so they might have cut out a lot of stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
To shorten it.
But Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man, they start fighting Thanos, and like I mentioned earlier, I didn't like how Thanos, without the stones, was able to go toe to toe with all of them, even kicking some of their asses. But it was a pretty good fight. It was a pretty cool fight scene right there initially in the beginning of the battle. What was fucking awesome was Captain America picking up Thor's hammered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we all
You knew
that
that
blew
was
me away.
coming.
we all knew that was gonna happen.
I mean, from Avengers 2, where he tries to pick it up and just moves, you knew eventually that was going to happen. Plus, I think the comics, he's used it
I had a
before.
theory about that. I told Josh after the movie. I think in Avengers 2: Age of Ultron, I think he could have picked it up at that point. I think he could have, and he just didn't. Like, he didn't want to make it a
You
big
know
deal.
what I heard? I heard the reason he couldn't move it. Now, this is what somebody said. They said the reason he couldn't move it was because he was holding back a secret about Tony's father and parents, how they died. And because of that, once he cleared that, he was then
I
worthy.
love that. That makes
Actually,
a lot of
that
sense.
makes a lot of sense.
That's what somebody
I can
said.
see that.
I love that.
Yeah.
We got $2 donation from JM. Says, I'm ready for the 7-hour director's cut.
So are we.
Fuck. They're
So
probably
Is it 7 hours? Oh.
So, what'd you think about the entire battle, man? That fucking end battle.
I
was
got
amazing.
chills when everybody when they started opening up the space portals. You know, Doctor Strange comes
Yeah.
and Tony's like, "Is this what you saw?" And he's like, "This." He's like, "I can't tell you, it won't happen." But then everybody starts coming through
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
That was awesome, dude. And
with-
then
with-
Y'all
Captain
catch the
Marvel's
little
like,
egg that they threw in there from Captain America's Civil War?
You talking about to your left?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what gave me the goosebumps,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I was just about to
Yeah.
mention that, like, Captain
left.
America, he's facing the entire army. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they're all coming at him. It kind of reminds me of Jon Snow in the Battle of the Bastards when the
Oh,
entire
yeah.
army is approaching him. He's just
Yeah.
like, shit. And then right behind him, boom! The rest of the army comes up to
Yeah.
save his ass.
Yep.
So Captain America, he's just like looking at all of Thanos' army, and he's like, fuck it, I'll take him. I don't care.
I was expecting that kind of line. I could do this all day kind of thing.
To your left. And
and
then and then they all appear.
Yeah.
And then all
That was awesome.
all of Wakanda comes.
Yeah.
Black Panther.
And all the time, all the sorcerers.
Guardian
and
of
all
the Galaxy, Doctor Strange, Spider. It was just that was really
so
cool.
awesome.
And then Captain America's like Avengers Assemble.
that. Yeah.
Yes!
That's the
That was
first time
awesome.
we've heard it. It's the first time we heard it. We finally heard it. In the movies.
The fight scene was amazing. And guys, you know what really blew me away? And I need to see more of this.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
She was going
She
in.
was alone was going to kill Thanos.
She was.
She was that powerful. Captain America,
Yeah.
Thor, and Iron Man, those three were getting their asses kicked by Thanos in the beginning of the battle.
Yep.
Scarlet Witch, no holds
Oh, yeah.
barred, pissed
She had-
off. She's right in front of him. This is awesome. I mean, God damn it, I'm getting hyped about this. She says, "You took everything from me." And then he looks at her and he says, "I don't even know who you are." And she says, "You will." And she kicks his ass. And she is this close to killing him. But then Thanos has
Yeah.
the ships fire upon the entire
Fire.
battlefield.
Yeah.
Dude, that was awesome.
That was awesome. That was totally awesome. I loved the battle scene. I thought it was great.
It was just phenomenal.
My only issue with it is when Captain Marvel comes and she flies right through this big giant ship, and then she tries to fight Thanos and he headbutts her and he's just not even hurting her. I was just like, come on.
Yeah. Again, Captain Marvel should have just been like teased. Like just teased,
Yeah.
you know. But
Yeah.
the end battle was amazing. It was so cool seeing everything, everyone fighting at once. It was really cool. The gauntlet was being passed around like a hot potato, and we got to see Spider-Man. And then he did that thing with all his legs.
Yeah.
Kill time or whatever.
Kill something. Yeah.
And then he
What is
just
it? Yeah, kill
starts
something.
killing everything like that. And that was awesome.
That was great.
Yeah.
Pepper showing up. She's an Iron Man type chick now.
I was so puzzled by that though. I didn't know if I liked that because she barely made an appearance in some of the other Iron Man or like Avengers and stuff, and all of a sudden she makes an appearance and she's fucking fighting. When she learned how to fucking fight, I didn't know if I liked that though.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was. I wasn't expecting that, but I figured the final battle they're trying to throw everybody a bone. You know what I mean?
And
It was cool, man.
That was,
and they made,
that's probably
they made
true.
everything fit. They made everybody fit and work. Everyone got their own screen
Insta-kill.
time.
Insta-kill.
Insta
that's
kill.
what-
There you
yeah.
go. It was. Am I missing anything from the final battle? Nebula killing herself.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
like killing herself, but killing herself.
Yeah.
Her past
And
self.
saved her sister.
Yeah.
So.
yeah.
Yeah, that was. I'm just
That
trying to
was
think of
interesting.
everything.
All right.
I think that's pretty much all about.
And then Philly, take us to the end, man. The end of it all. Like,
Oh man, that really like that affected me for a while. Um, I don't know how Tony did. I gotta see it again. But somehow he gets the glove off Thanos. Right? Thanos goes to snap, and there's nothing there. It's on Tony. Tony looks at him. He goes, "I am Iron Man." Boom.
Yeah,
And then
yeah. Right after
it's
Thanos
over.
says, "I am inevitable."
Yeah.
That's right.
Nothing
I'm
there.
yeah.
Well, you know how he got it, the stones off of it, that right?
No.
I don't remember. It was fight and they were all reaching for it, and I don't know how. I don't remember how. It was so fast. I don't
So
remember.
remember that glove that Tony made was based off his nanotech, so it can adapt to
Right.
everybody's hand, right? That's why it's shaped
Right,
to
right.
fit into
Yeah.
Hulk's. So what I'm guessing, and what I think I told Josh, is that when he grabbed it, his nanotech it's his nanotech, so it easily could have
So it's
transferred back into
connected to him.
his arm when he's holding.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
So,
that makes sense.
that, because that shit could adapt, it can move. Remember,
That's what had to have happened.
that's the only thing that makes sense. And so
But then,
But
yeah, go ahead.
I love the way. No, but I loved after he says I'm Iron Man snaps. I love that Thanos knows he's gonna lose, and he just sits there
He
and just quietly goes out.
he accepts
And that's it, dude.
Guys,
He accepts it. It was great.
when his whole like army starts fading away, and you see the wizard guy, like the part of his like his fucking crew, the guy who was all badass in Infinity War, who fought Doctor Strange and was torturing him on the spaceship. That guy, I forgot his fucking
Wait, what are you
name.
talking about?
The warlock guy.
Oh, the warlock guy. Yeah. I know.
And he starts walking towards Thanos. It reminded me so much of Spider-Man when he was walking towards Iron Man after the snap. And he said, I don't feel so good.
Yeah.
I could have sworn that's exactly what he was going to say, because he started approaching Thanos like this, and then he dusted away.
Yeah.
Gone.
And then Thanos, he realizes what's going on. He has a seat, and he's just looking there. And he accepts defeat, like you said, and then he's the last one to dust.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got another $5 real quick from JM. He says, "Yo, it was freaking weird in the theater. There was always dead silence for every Captain Marvel scene." Yeah, because I don't think a lot of people actually want to watch Captain Marvel. A lot of people weren't excited about it, so a lot of people didn't know anything about her.
The problem is just it was so late to bring in a character.
Yeah.
It's retconning. It's shoehorning.
You know.
You just threw her in. You're just looking at like, okay, here comes Endgame. Now here's this. Here's this. And oh, by the way, she's one of the most powerful beings in the universe. What?
Right. Yeah.
Ebony Maw.
So,
Thank
but
you so
I
much,
mean,
Anonymous Fucker.
I mean,
Ebony Maw.
when Tony snapped at first, I didn't like it. Dude. I didn't like that he was going to die, and
That was tough.
it was like, dude has a 5-year-old kid now.
Yeah.
You're going, that's just me in real life. But when you think about it, and it sinks in, it's the perfect way for him to go out.
Yeah.
He was going out selfless, which people thought he was always selfish.
Yeah.
In all his earlier movies and stuff.
Yeah, it was
so
perfect.
it just showed you how he came in. I thought it was perfect. Yeah.
That was the perfect death resolution to his entire character, because he didn't have to go back into the past and do the entire thing, because he brought up a good point. He said, listen, look what we have now. This is what I know now. I have a family. Like you just said, I have a daughter. If we do this, does it all go away? Do we sacrifice what we have and to lose everything?
Yeah.
It was a good conundrum right there, and he did it anyway.
But
Pepper made it.
But I
Pepper
knew
made a great point
he
when she
was going to
telling him
die.
she couldn't do it.
I knew it when he pulls up to the Avengers headquarters and he gets out and he tells Captain America, I want to do this, but I don't want to die. And I'm like, dude, damn it, he's going to die. You know?
Oh, yeah.
It was like,
And then the snap happens, and but Iron Man dies. Doesn't even say a word. There's no final goodbyes, and I thought that was great. You know, because he's a very talkative person. He says a lot, and then he just dies very quietly, and everyone's so sad.
Yeah.
And then there's the funeral scene for Tony Stark. Everybody's there. Nick Fury, we see him finally back and everything.
Out. Yeah, back there. We saw the kid from Iron Man 3. Was it 3? 3. Yeah, it was 3. That kid was there.
we saw the kid?
Yes,
I
He was,
didn't
he was
see him.
older. He was older now. But yeah, the
Oh,
kid was
was
there.
I didn't even notice.
It was like that random little little boy or
the
young
kid
teenager
in Iron.
that was there. Yeah.
And then and then after the funeral, Professor Hulk, Falcon, and Captain America, they decided that Captain America is going to go in the back in time and return all the stones to their rightful place in time.
Yep.
And then it was supposed to take 5 seconds. Captain America doesn't come back.
I have a question about that real quick. That didn't make sense to me.
Why?
Why was he all of a sudden he's sitting on the bench with them? Wouldn't he have created a different alternate timeline? How is he in there present?
No, yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about earlier. I mean, Captain America going back in time and staying there
Doesn't make sense.
changes
Well,
everything.
I would say this: it has to be a different Captain America. The Captain America that goes back, that's in a different alternate. There still has to be alternate Captain Americas, right? In every alternate reality.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very confusing.
And then that scene, it was pretty important. He hands over the Captain America shield to Falcon, dubs him the new Captain America, which completely shocked me because I could have swore it was gonna be Bucky.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was going to be Bucky, and I do have questions about giving it to Falcon because he's not a super soldier. He's a regular, normal guy, right? So he doesn't even have this super strength or anything that the original Captain America did. But Bucky, he's 100 years old. So what are they going to do for Falcon to kind of give him that extra strength and stuff?
I thought the exact same thing the moment it happened. I thought, wait a minute, he's not. Is he even better than Bucky?
Well, I was thinking maybe that, like with the shield, that there's gonna be a serum in there or whatever. With the shield,
right?
He brought it. He saved one vial of it and to give to the Falcon or something. I don't know.
Yes, he's gonna have to have some serum so he can have the strength of Captain America.
Exactly.
Okay, so how about this? This is the biggest question I have. Why isn't Endgame the final chapter?
Wait, it's not?
It isn't. Endgame is not the final chapter of this entire phase.
What is?
The new Spider-Man movie is.
Far From Home?
That is the last film for Phase 3. I thought
Really?
Avengers Endgame was the last movie for Phase 3.
I thought they said that
I
was
did
Phase 4.
too.
Well, go ahead, Philly.
No, I'm just learning this now, so you're kind of blowing my mind.
The new Spider-Man movie, it was when they went into initial production, it was supposed to be the first movie for Phase 4.
Okay.
But they decided to make it the last chapter for Phase 3. So the only explanation I have is, in this new Spider-Man movie, they are going to introduce or tease, maybe in the movie or in the post-credit scene, the new villain for Phase 4. That's my guess. We're going to see the aftermath of the snap as it is in the real world.
Okay.
In the movie. And then I think we're going to get introduced to very important plot points going into Phase 4.
Okay. So maybe it's
sense.
not really like, it's like more of a transition movie.
Right, exactly.
Right.
To a new phase, because like because that's the thing in this movie, they didn't have a fucking after credit scenes.
No.
So they didn't do that.
No.
In this movie.
And I
Nothing to set up
waited
Phase
the
4.
whole friggin'
They're
time.
going to do that here.
Yeah.
I waited the whole time.
We did too, and we were like,
For that.
we heard
And I'm
that
like,
there
you
wasn't
couldn't-
anything, but we still had to wait.
Yep. So that was very
Yeah,
interesting.
I didn't hear. Had no idea.
So
What did you think of Professor Hulk, real quick?
Professor Hulk,
because
I
that was-
thought he was great, man. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
He was very funny. I'm glad that they lightened up the character.
Yeah.
We're seeing, because Thor Ragnarok, I think, completely changed Hulk and
Thor
Thor
Ragnarok
forever.
is awesome.
Yeah.
For the better.
Yeah. Their characters are so much better now.
Yeah, exactly. So I love Professor Hulk. I just wish, and we're probably gonna see this in like director's cut, the transitioning, like because we didn't see that. As soon as we see Professor Hulk, he's already Professor Hulk. And remember, in Infinity War, a big storyline, a big plot point was or subplot was the Hulk not being able to come through for Bruce Banner. He kept trying to summon him for the entire movie after the very, very first scene, and he couldn't do it. And then in Endgame, he's just there. Love the character. It was brilliant, but I would like to see the struggle.
The struggle and the transition.
Yeah, and that was 5 years later too. So there's a lot there that we
might
missed.
that might even be a Hulk movie.
Yeah.
We might even see a Hulk movie.
You
If they
never
do, I don't know.
And also, there could be a TV series on Disney Plus. Just saying. But the movies, they are making a Black Widow movie. That has to be about her past now that we know she's dead.
Right, it's got to be a prequel.
And which I think they did that in a hint when they mentioned her father, and she said, "I don't even know my father," so maybe that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, that's true.
But and then also they have confirmed the Loki series on Disney Plus, and Falcon, and what's his name, Bucky series together. Their adventures together.
Nice.
I'm wondering if that's going to be post Endgame.
Did you mention the Scarlet Witch and Vision series?
Oh no, that too.
That's good. They're gonna do a series together.
Vision didn't come
He
back.
didn't come back.
So I was, Yeah.
So yeah, because
So that's interesting.
That's also something that they got to figure out.
They're
But,
gonna
yeah,
they're gonna have a limited series. I think
Yeah.
it's supposed to be like 6 episodes or something like that. But
I wonder if it's
Interesting.
their time with each other in
Probably.
between after the Civil War.
we got 2 donations from Ben Rogers. Says Doctor Doom has to be a Phase 4 villain. I would love that. Doctor Doom would
That'd
be
be
great.
awesome.
Doctor Doom
Dr.
or
Doom, yes.
Galactus.
Galactus, yeah, I would like.
I
either
like
one.
that. I would love Doctor Doom.
That
would be.
All right,
awesome.
so guys, Philly 500. Any last thoughts before we head out? Avengers Endgame.
I loved how it ended. Guardian of the Galaxy, as Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor with the Guardian.
Yes.
Yeah.
That whole scene was good, and I hope that they bring Thor back for some of those, because I think that the chemistry between Thor and Star-Lord is great.
Oh,
It was great.
dude.
Yeah.
It was
I
awesome.
hope he's in every Guardians of the Galaxy. When
I
they
really
do
hope so.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 in Phase 4,
He better be there.
Thor needs to be in the entire movie.
He's got to.
Because he's no
Yes.
longer an Asgardian.
No.
He left
Right.
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie in
is
charge.
now the king of Asgard.
Yeah, which I
Yeah.
love that. I do like that. So I like him going out and explore, because he never wanted to rule. Remember, he said he wanted to just go out there and just do things and
Yeah.
help out. So I think that's important.
But he's
like
like
his
the
mom
big
said,
fat.
play your role,
Yeah.
be yourself, and that's what he always said he
The
wanted to
big fat Lebowski is an Asgardian guy. It was hilarious.
As Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh my god, that's gonna be my
Yeah.
favorite movies going forward. It's been great.
do. But I thought it was great. I loved how there's a few plot holes that we covered today, but I think that's going to be answered in the director's cut
Hopefully.
when it comes out. Hopefully. So fingers
Yeah.
crossed. I can't wait to watch that.
But overall, Avengers Endgame, great movie.
Yeah.
It was epic. I
Great
mean,
movie.
so many things.
Great fight scenes,
yeah.
man.
Very intense death scenes with Iron Man and Black Widow. But overall, I will say that it's not as good as Infinity War.
No.
I say Infinity War was much more cohesive from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Whereas Endgame, it kind of had a bump. It's a little bumps, just little
Yeah.
tiny bumps.
Yeah.
Not that they're too crazy. Still loved it, but not as good as Infinity War.
One thing I forgot
So,
to
like-
mention is I loved seeing Thanos actually fight. Before we saw him in Infinity War, he didn't really fight. He used the stones. Now that was just like, oh, that's way too overpowered. This time he was actually
Yeah.
fighting, and that was actually
Yeah.
pretty fucking badass. I just want to throw that out there.
I think Infinity War's today's Empire Strikes Back, and Endgame is the Return of Jedi. That's kind of how I see it. I could buy that.
Yeah.
I love both of them. I think
Yeah.
it's epic. I can't wait to watch it again,
Yeah.
because I'm sure there are things that maybe we have questions that we'll pick up next time we see it.
Exactly right.
yeah,
Exactly right.
yeah.
Maybe we just missed some stuff. But all right, guys, that is our review for Avengers Endgame. Oh my, we could actually talk about this for
I could probably
3
go
hours.
on and on, but we got to get ready for our next stream because we're streaming the Rockets and Warriors game.
Philly, thank you so much for being on here.
Yeah.
Thanks for
it was
having
great.
me. I appreciate it. It was fun.
Of course.
Thank you.
I'll give you back my jersey before I do a Trubisky heist, a fucking Philly.500 Trubisky heist.
Not happening.
The time heist.
Not happening.
Fury
That's
Nation,
it. That's it.
assemble!
Don't let me
Everybody right now.
snap.
All right.
No, you gonna snap?
I told you. He's with Thanos, man. I swear.
Everybody, thank you so much for tuning into the live stream right here.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I know there's some things that we probably missed that maybe you guys caught. Let us know.
Yeah.
School us up in the comment section down below once the video's
They're
up.
uploaded,
We want to
yeah.
hear your thoughts. And guys, if you're not subscribed to Philly.500 yet, what are you doing? Go do it now.
Don't be a dingbat.
And we got a 199 donation from Jared. It says, "Hype Rockets gotta win." Yes.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
And we're gonna be streaming that. We'll be back here in a little bit, guys. We'll see you soon.
Philly, thank you, man.
Peace.
Appreciate you.
Love you,
Love
man.
ya, man.
Love you guys too. Thank you for having me.